All right, there's been more and more talk about it on the internet, certainly, and in the communities of this country of ours. And what they're talking about is preppers, getting ready just in case. And America has never been the scene of a war before, of course, not for a long time anyway. And so people here are relatively immune from the concept that things get very bad very quickly. This whole just-in-time shopping thing is nuts. When the trucks stop running, grocery store shelves will empty out in a matter of hours. There will be violence. There will be all kinds of things. It is estimated that far less than 1% of the population has any significant preparation that they have made to this point in time. Food, water is crucial. Water is number one. Food is right there with it. You can go certainly longer without food than you can water. So the issue of preparing is crucial. But a lot of these companies out there that are selling freeze-dried food are unfortunately selling genetically modified soy, genetically modified corn, things I would never eat. Tough call. Should I starve to death or eat that junk? I don't know. A lot of the foods out there are just not up to standard. Not mine anyway. There's one company out there that is just about ready to finish full certification of genetically modified free-only ingredients. They have responded to our discussions. They're very conscientious about making their products as good as they possibly can, given the marketplace we are all saddled with. They're taking out ingredients that are not necessary, that normal companies that do this kind of work would never even care about. They're making their products, again, GMO-free. It's a remarkable thing to see happen, a company that really honestly gives a darn about the people they're selling life-saving food to. Now, everyone talks a good game, and they say we care, but this company, I've seen them actually do what they're talking about. Talks cheap, and you never really know. But buyemergencyfoods.com is the place to go. Buyemergencyfoods.com. And it is amazingly convenient. Each one of the meals are packaged in nitrogen-flushed Mylar pouches. Take one out, hot water, and you're ready. It's there. I don't eat a whole lot of food, and I honestly think I could make a 6-month supply, make it 9 months easy with that. But again, it's all done. These people are pros. They know how much people need in terms of protein. These foods are absolutely delicious, and the ingredient list, again, is as good as it can possibly be. Here to talk about that and the whole idea of preparedness on the basis of the financial catastrophe we're seeing unfold before us more and more each day is Charlie McGrath, one of the great young journalists left on this planet. WideAwakeNews.com. He's on this radio network. You can hear Charlie every day, Monday through Friday, and he's back with us tonight. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Mr. Rense, what an honor to be on with you again. I'm your warm-up host. I get everybody ready for the great Jeff Rense program.
Oh, listen, the audience is always ready, and you do a wonderful job. But seriously, your program is gaining more and more respect all the time. I get emails. I don't get emails a lot, but I do get emails from people who talk about Charlie McGrath and the good job he is doing. In fact, it's better than good. They really do rave about you, but I don't want you to get a big head.
Yeah, well, trust me, it's because I had a really good teacher who taught me when I first started this, coming from YouTube into radio. Jeff, you gave me pointers that were gold, wisdom that I've seen prove to be true for 2 years now, and a lot of it is, the biggest thing you ever told me was, be yourself and keep doing what you're doing, and there's a lot of shady people in this world, and don't become one of them. Keep your message.
You couldn't if you wanted to. By the way, it took me a year to talk Charlie into coming into radio to the extent that he has. And
I didn't think I could do it, Jim. I'm still not sure I can.
Well, take my word for it. You've done it and then some. This whole idea of preparing, Charlie, I know your audience and my audience and those people who really have a brain out there can see that if they don't take care of themselves, this government is not going to do a damn thing to help them. Nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And hopefully, you know, for the next hour, I certainly want to talk about BuyMerseyFoods.com, but you know, your listeners, some of them, you know, are my listeners as well. I hope I can spell out or paint a picture of why on earth you absolutely are completely missing the boat if you're not doing minimal preparation. I mean, if you go to Buy Emergency Foods website right now, before I say anything else about, you know, their product or how they're making it, I'm telling you right now, $1.50 a serving, less than $1.50 a serving. If you don't have that insurance policy in your house, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to scare you. I'm saying this because in the United States of America in 2012, if you are not seriously considering what you're going to do when the inevitable happens, which is going to be a crisis, governed by crisis, live by crisis. This is how our government functions, and our society.
Some are going to die by crisis, unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're not, you know, for the price of an iPhone or iPad, you get yourself 6 months worth of calories stored away that's going to be there for 25 years. But you know, I want to touch a little bit on what you talked about the quality of their product, because it's absolutely outstanding. They have and they're outstanding right now, standalone in my opinion, in the industry. They stand alone, head and shoulders above everybody else as far as the quality they're putting into their product. And that's nothing, because starting in November, they're having a new product line come out, and they're going to finish their revamping. I mean, right now it's outstanding. Starting in November, they have a lot of new highlights coming. New product.
They're adding
lines
to the inventory and the menu, as it were, all the time, and
Yep.
that's fun. This,
You know what? And
go ahead.
you know how Jeff, you know how I knew these guys were when I started talking to Chris Atkin at Buy Emergency Foods.
Uh-huh.
And Tom, obviously, we both know Tom, talking to him about it. They listened to you, they listened to Tom, and they listened to other feedback on what they needed to do to not only provide a affordable preparedness freeze-dried storable food, but the highest quality one. And then they took those recommendations and implemented them. And now they're even going further with their desire to produce quality product. I don't know if you know this, but I just returned from their facility in Salt Lake, their manufacturing facility. I flew down there last weekend and met with Chris and took a tour of their facility and talked to the guys who were making this product, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, I've been in marketing in one form or another for 20 plus years, and I went to probably 50 different factories. In fact, you know, I've been in Canada several times. I have to go to China here pretty soon to look at a factory that I deal with in my day life.
Really? Well, when you go, please, let's get you on the program and get your views of China.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
I definitely will. I'll call you. I'll Skype you from China, because we have a manufacturer over there that we deal with quite often, and I Skype with him.
All right.
So we certainly can connect that way. But when I went to the factory, I know we have only about a minute before the break. I just want to say that
3. Go ahead.
3. Okay. See, you're the boss, so you get to move the things around. And I want to say this. I noticed you ran really long, Jeff Rense.
It was an accident.
You're just very polite. That's what it is. I get nervous that the boss is listening. Anyway, when I went down to Salt Lake, I met Chris. We went out to the facility. I spoke to their production manager, and I'm telling you, from receiving, getting the raw materials in the back door, to their production people, to their shipping people, and that are all led by this production manager, they are 100% quality driven. And the facility was absolutely laid out in an immaculate condition. The flow of materials coming in and out was, I mean, like I said, I've visited factories around the planet, and these guys are top notch, and they know exactly what they want to do, and they're doing it. And I think that's evident in the quality product they're putting out, and it's affordable. And like I said, you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till November.
The idea of ingredients coming in and actually being assembled there, so they're not just brokering food. That's the important thing to remember
That
too.
is important.
They're actually creating the products.
Listen, if any listeners go to a website and they see brand X, and if they wonder why they see brand X on 500 websites that have to do with this genre that we operate in, it's real simple, because these sites are resellers. They're taking something that somebody else manufactured and then just reselling it. They have no control over the quality. They have no control over what comes in these buckets. And the only thing they can tell you is exactly whatever that manufacturer told them to tell you. And it's evident with Buy Emergency Foods, namely with Prepare Wise. That's one of their other sister sites, but with Legacy Premium, these are the owners of that product. They're the owners of that brand. So they have absolute quality control from start to finish, and it is very evident when you go down and visit that facility.
Right, they're not just resellers; they're creators, as it were. So hold on just a second. We'll be right back with Charlie McGrath, and again, the website is buyemergencyfoods.com, and we'll be right back. Remember this name, Carnivora. That's CARNIVORA.com. What if I told you that this 100% pure and natural product was delivered directly to the White House at President Reagan's personal request at a time when only the president was able to obtain it? Reagan used this amazing product, Carnivora, successfully, a product derived only from nature that has the intelligence to instinctively attack abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell, and the power to actually wake up critical immune cells from dormancy to attack foreign invaders that don't belong in our bodies. Carnivora is now obtainable by anyone who wants to get healthy and stay that way. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and protect yourself with 17 naturally occurring compounds that will unleash powerful immune defense. That's 1-866-VENUS-FLY. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and get your Carnivora today. Visit carnivora.com.
Charlie McGrath of WideAwakeNews.com here with a message about Legacy Premium freeze-dried storable food, available at BuyEmergencyFoods.com. I recently returned from a trip to the manufacturing facility, and I'm here to tell you it was impressive. Over 50 employees working hard to produce the highest quality, best tasting, most healthy, certified GMO-free freeze-dried storable food on the market. And now that I've been to the manufacturing facility, I can tell you, from receiving to production to shipping, these guys have one thing in mind. That is quality. Plain and simple. Please do yourself, do your loved ones a favor. Be prepared for an uncertain future with Legacy Premium freeze-dried storable foods available at BuyEmergencyFoods.com. You can call them at 888-543-7345. That number again, 888-543-7345, or better yet, visit them online at BuyEmergencyFoods.com.
Known worldwide as the most consistently fascinating, informative, and unique program on radio, the Jeff Rense program can be yours to listen to anytime, anywhere, whenever you want to hear it. For pennies a day, our subscribers can download any of Jeff's thousands of programs featuring a treasury of newsmakers, researchers, eyewitnesses, and incredible subjects, all in MP3 commercial-free, crystal-clear 56-bit digital sound, and take these often unforgettable programs with them wherever they go. As a subscriber, you can also listen live at airtime, online, anywhere in the world, or browse through our archives of over 10,000 hours of legendary broadcasts. Subscribe now by taking the link at the top of Rense.com and enrich your mind with the most unique panorama of vital information and the best independent, honest journalism in radio. Look for the Subscribe Now link on Rense.com and give yourself the knowledge you need for these unprecedented times.
Okay, back with Charlie McGrath, here Monday through Friday on this network. Immediately before this program, 2 hours a day, the world continues to plummet into the abyss, Charlie. Everywhere you look, things are getting worse. I don't like bad news. I'd love to be able to present better news, but I'll be damned if I can find much of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and I guess the worst of it is disguised and not spoke to by our media whatsoever. I mean, we're immersed now in this ridiculous election season, which, I mean, look, if we have these candidates presented to us by the mainstream red and blue teams and the media, and our choices are Obama or Romney, and just if you're completely ignorant of our political system and completely ignorant of the run-up to this election season, you realize that we've had 3 debates now, and one of them was strictly on the economy, and then we had the vice presidential debate and the second presidential debate, and not one word is mentioned. I mean, we play games with with the topics that are truthfully meaningless to our future. We play games. We talk about everything from gay rights to our women in the workforce. And,
yep.
Yeah.
Nothing meaningful. The same things they pull out every 4 years, going back as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Schools, jobs, lower the taxes. The same.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing.
We have a debate on the first one on the economy, and nothing, not one word, not one whisper of the Federal Reserve, not one word about the sovereign debt crisis, the sovereign debt landmine that Europe is now stepping on, that we will be immersed in very, very soon. Not one word about the corrupt banksters who brought us to the position we're in. It's all fluff, it's all nonsense, and it's all garbage, and it's done for for the benefit of an audience that wants everything to be an NFL football game or an NBA basketball game. We want it to be over with. Jeff, isn't it amazing? A debate, hour and a half long, a basketball game about that same length.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we have these pundits come on and tell us about, who won this round, who had the best zinger here, who won question 3. I have it at this score to that score. And it's mind-numbing. And if you watch this current political charade and realize that we've doubled our national debt in about 4.5 years, we see Europe imploding. People are dying in Europe, the Western world. People are dying because of the financial and political upheaval there. We have an international monetary fund, a cabal of banksters that are broadcasting exactly what's coming, which is going to be, they're calling it a recession, but we know what they mean. It's going to be a global economic.
Well, the big A is coming. They call it austerity, and
you betcha.
You don't know what that is until you're living in it, and it means it's ugly. And
very ugly. So let me paint a quick scenario. Here's your scenarios playing out in the next few months. We have Obama get back in there. We hit the fiscal cliff. Nothing is done. We have automatic austerity kicked in immediately. You lose a lot of social safety nets. You have a lot of panic. And we go into a economic nightmare. Markets crash. And we see these emergency measures come in that are reducing people. 165 million people are relying on some form of check from the government. These are affected. We have riots in the streets. Look, if we go back to 2008, where we're losing 700,000, 1 million jobs a month, that happens for 2 months. It's absolute pandemonium. I truly believe the financial power elite know this is coming one way or another. Either if it's Obama and that path, or we have Romney and Ryan, and they're broadcasting what they're going to do. They've said there's 47% of the people they want to, that are meaningless. Guess what happens when you take 47% of the people, the real number is 51 or 52%, that rely on some form of government assistance, and you take that away from them, well, you have people fighting and killing one another for what they have, what's left to go after.
That's right.
They have no reason. So we don't want to be thrown. I mean, we don't want to be, but Adrian's on your program all the time, and mine once in a while. Adrian Sarbuche, he tells you exactly what economic collapse looks like. Lived through it many times in Argentina. And, I've been through it when I've seen devastation inside of Iraq. When people are hungry, when people are panicking, you do not want to be anywhere in that vicinity. You want to be able to stay home, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. Hopefully, it's a period of time that's not going to lead us into a Mad Max scenario. But if you have, provisions set up in your home for 2 weeks to 6 months, where you can be safe and take care of you and your loved ones, you are so far ahead of the game, it can't even be measured.
Well said. It's true. What's the percentage of Americans? It's not even a single percent. How many people are actually prepared, Charlie, to do 3 months? Let's just say 3 months. If they've got sustenance for 3 months, water, food, shelter, that they can hang on.
I hate to say this, but I'd be willing to bet you that it is not even 10% of our audience that is prepared to last for 3 months.
You're probably right.
If you ask
and these people are informed and they know.
Absolutely.
But a lot of them just haven't been able to or haven't gotten around to it yet. And it's true. People say, well, I'll get to it next week. No, you can't do that. You've got to make the move now in the next couple of weeks. This election is coming up soon. Now, remember, the obvious inauguration doesn't happen until January. But the country, through this holiday season, is going to be clearly, I don't know where it's going, but it's not going in any direction I want it to go. So you have to make the decision to take things into your own hands and prepare. Protect is probably the best word. Prepare, that's fine. Protect your family. If you've got kids, you have a moral, spiritual obligation to provide for them with food storage. You really do. I don't care what you have to sell to get it. Just do it. You feel. I have so many times talked to people over the years who have done this, and they tell me, I don't even have to ask them, how much better they feel. So, I've got this hidden angst is gone now. I don't have to worry. I've got this feeling of confidence that I know I can take care of my kids for 6 months or whatever, come what may. And that's peace of mind that you just cannot go and buy in a store. You got to get the right stuff from the right people. The stuff in the stores I wouldn't want to touch, frankly. But this company is extraordinary, and what they're doing is unique. They are right now head and shoulders, I think, above all the rest. I agree.
Absolutely.
So it's buyemergencyfoods.com as we slide into the break here. So go and take a look at those clean white plastic tubs and understand what's in each one of them are these nitrogen-flushed Mylar pouches. You just tear one open, hot water, and you're there. It's that simple. Look at the specials, look what's available, and we'll be right back with Charlie in just a few minutes.
The Mayan end of world or the global banking collapse. In 2007, one man, Mike Dillard, made 5 predictions which forecasted the 2008 economic crisis and the pending Eurozone collapse. This week, Mike unleashes 3 brand new, shocking, must-watch videos with predictions for the coming year. www.the3videos.com. Over the past year, Mike Dillard has helped thousands of ordinary people create and recover wealth by tapping into the black box investing strategies the big banks don't want you to know about. www.the3videos.com. As the European banking system implodes and governments collapse at breakneck speeds, the next 12 months will be the most anticipated and important months in modern human history. This will make 2008 look like a walk in the park. Everyone will be affected. Go to www.the3videos.com now. Learn how to prepare your family and prosper during the global financial collapse.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Heart and Body Extract has a 23-year proven track record of using certified organic herbs that make up an excellent formula to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. In as little as 2 weeks, you can feel amazing results when your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
You're listening to Jeff nationwide and worldwide on the internet on the Rense Radio Network.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has 0 toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com, spelled BIOAGE.com, BioAge.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge, the age of advanced organics.
Are chemtrail geoengineering programs changing our weather and destroying our environment? Why in the world are they spraying?
They want to create a storm in the southeast, then they'll start engineering out over the North Pacific. That's where the tragedies will be.
Find out why critics are calling Why in the World Are They Spraying the most important film that is revolutionizing the environmental movement.
It's just going to get worse until the point where we're not going to be able to grow anything at all unless it's a Monsanto genetically modified, abiotic stress resistant seed.
Why in the world are they spraying? New international version with languages available from around the world. For 1 month, Rense listeners receive free shipping. Go to the banner on the front of the Rense website and click on the link for more info.
It's all about money, and weather is another form of commoditizing, a way the Central Command Group can commoditize another form of our life.
Why in the world are they spraying?
And if you control the weather, you're going to control the planet. It's that simple.
Okay, back talking to Charlie McGrath about the world and what we have to do and the responsibility we have to assume to prepare and protect ourselves and our families. Meanwhile, the 2 contenders, or I guess we should say pretenders, were at a big New York dinner tonight.
Yeah.
They were at, as they say, arm's length for the 2nd time this week, and they kind of quipped and threw some zingers, I guess. Here's some video from it. I haven't watched any of this. Let's see what it sounded like tonight.
Venerable tradition. Of course, I'm pleased that the President's here. We were chatting pleasantly this evening as if Tuesday night never happened. I was actually hoping the President would bring Joe Biden along this evening, because he'll laugh at anything.
Everyone, please take your seats. Otherwise, Clint Eastwood will yell at them. It's been 4 years since I was last at the Al Smith dinner. And I have to admit some things have changed since then. I've heard some people say, Barack, you're not as young as you used to be. Where's that golden smile? Where's that pep in your step? And I say, settle down, Joe. I'm trying to run a cabinet meeting here.
People seem to be very curious as to how we prepare for the debates. Let me tell you what I do. First, refrain from alcohol for 65 years before the debate.
There is a modestly amusing line.
Oh, man, and then just mercilessly attack it. Big Bird didn't even see it coming. And by the way, in the spirit of Sesame Street, the President's remarks tonight are brought to you by the letter O and the number 16 trillion.
Oh, not bad.
That wasn't bad.
They got some writers at work there. Let's see if the President came back with anything.
As some of you may have noticed, I had a lot more energy in our second debate. I felt really well rested after the nice long nap I had in the first debate.
I'm pleased to once again have the chance to see Governor Cuomo, who's already being talked about for higher office. A beautiful family that would make any man proud. You can oppose in our country, you can oppose someone in politics and make a confident case against their policies without any ill will. And that's how it is for me. There's more to life than politics.
And I particularly want to thank Governor Romney for joining me because I admire him very much as a family man and a loving father. And those are two titles that will always matter more than any political ones.
Well, actually, that was probably better than the debate.
Well, you know, and there is some lines in there that are comical and fairly funny, and you know, if you were sound asleep, right? If you hadn't been doing this for so long and realized, you know, the money behind him and who's really controlling him, it would be entertainment. But you know, I hear this and I look at a nation of 314 million people. I look at a true unemployment rate north of 20% and 47 million people on food stamps and 1.3 million bankruptcies and
88 million without jobs, right?
Yeah. Foreclosures are going to, you know, pushing 1 million this year as they have for years, and you know, and then it all loses its humor. I mean, I even get caught up in that for a minute, and then I realize that as these guys are yucking it up at this uber elite elbow rubbing contest, you know, there's devastation across this land, and of course. And
do they care in their white ties? And no, Jeff. I mean, you know, we have 314 million people, and yet we still keep getting the same people to vote for over and over and over again. And you look at the who's the financial power behind these guys, and it's always the same people. I mean, our interest, the people's interest, are the furthest thing from their mind, except for, you know, a silly season called election time. They'll placate to the masses by promising this, that, and the other thing, and then, you know, the day after the election, the day after inauguration, we're right back on course with expanding our military and security industrial complex, expanding wars around the planet, and continuing to, you know, destroy our dollar and upwardly integrate wealth and power into fewer and fewer hands. You had touched on something before the break about, you know, the need to prepare. Look, somebody asked me in my chat room. I have it open and I'm hanging out in there a little bit too. Are the big boys preparing? And they were talking about Operation Shake-Up or Shakeout or whatever. But it made me think that the government is preparing for what's coming, right? The government is preparing. They're not talking about it. You can find the information out. You know, when you read things like the Social Security Administration in 41 states has ordered 174,000 rounds of ammunition. Or when you find out that the Department of Homeland Security, not invading Afghanistan, Department of Invading, the Homeland Security has 1 billion rounds of ammunition on order. And then when you realize the fact that in Iraq, the height of the war, we were spending, shooting 70 million rounds of ammunition a year. Well, you got DHS ordering 1 billion rounds, and then other agencies like the Social Security Administration, like NOAA. You know, these agencies have no conceivable function in having that much ammunition, ordering hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammunition. Or any ammunition.
Or any, yeah. And then the hardening of sites around the country, and then cap it all off with a false flag terror event that we saw happen in New York here in the last day or so, where it's just yet another example of a government staging in a terror event. So that they can justify their existence and justify keeping you afraid. They know what's coming, Jeff.
Of course they do. And so do the people who have been digging underground, deep underground shelters, bunkers, escape facilities. Some say small villages and small towns underground. These are governmental agencies corporate agencies, all part of the corporatocracy that have been getting ready in earnest since the mid-'80s. What do they know? And then consider that seed bank. Don't forget about that. Other signs. The signs are all there, as Charlie said earlier. It's all right out in front. It's a question of whether or not people want to or are able to see it. That's what we try to help you do all the time. We'll be right back. The 1987 stock market crash, the clean food trend, the dot-com bust. The Trends Journal alerts subscribers to early, subtle signs of crucial trends that will shape our future. It allows readers to anticipate change, recognize the implications, and take proactive strategies. Put your money where your mind is with Gerald Salenti's brilliant and indispensable Trends Journal. Go to trendsjournal.com or call 845-331-3500. That's 845-331-3500.
Known worldwide as the most consistently fascinating, informative, and unique program on radio, the Jeff Rense program can be yours to listen to anytime, anywhere, whenever you want to hear it. For pennies a day, our subscribers can download any of Jeff's thousands of programs featuring a treasury of newsmakers, researchers, eyewitnesses, and incredible subjects, all in MP3 commercial-free, crystal-clear 56-bit digital sound, and take these often unforgettable programs with them wherever they go. As a subscriber, you can also listen live at airtime, online, anywhere in the world, or browse through our archives of over 10,000 hours of legendary broadcasts. Subscribe now by taking the link at the top of Rense.com and enrich your mind with the most unique panorama of vital information and the best independent, honest journalism in radio. Look for the Subscribe Now link on Rense.com and give yourself the knowledge you need for these unprecedented times.
Are you struggling to reclaim your health? Let me share my story quick. My nightmare of chronic fatigue, PTSD, and autoimmune issues cost me everything. A bankruptcy, loss of home, even my wife walked out on me with no hope in sight. A miracle happened after hitting my lowest point. I discovered ion and RNA drops. It literally saved my life. I want to share my story with you and offer you a trial-size mini bottle of RNA drops. Visit www.rnafreemini.com. Again, that's www.rnafreemini.com. It's time to take your power back now. You can also check out our ad online at Rense.com. RNA drops.
I used to work in television news. We would go out, once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and do what we call a man on the street, or a woman on the street. And we'd take camera crew out and stand there, and I'd kind of stand in the flow of traffic and ask people if I could ask them a question. You've seen these things many, many times, and the results are always invariably appalling about how uninformed people are. Staggeringly uninformed, shockingly, dangerously uninformed. How can this be considered a competent society when, first of all, it can't even control its own borders or won't? And secondly, they are so dumb, most of them couldn't look at a map and figure out where Washington, D.C. is. And that's not a joke. Could they name all 50 states? Not a chance. And ask them about anything normally understandable in terms of what we cover. You folks out there are concerned about what Charlie works on, what I work on, and our other hosts at the network, and other responsible journalists, and I mean journalists, and there aren't that many out there anymore. What we have, unfortunately, on the net now are so-called news sites. They're just aggregators, repackagers. And what really bothers me, of course, are people that take their work from the work of others and don't give attribution. It's fine to use other people's work, incorporate it into your own, but acknowledge those people. Tell the world that you appreciate the work that they've done. Find original research anymore, original journalism, and you found the needle in the haystack. It's very, very hard to do. And I don't know about you, Charlie, but when I see these, and Howard Stern just went on radio last week and did one. It's up on YouTube. These, we call them man on the street interviews with people, average folks, and how uninformed they are. I'm not going to call them stupid or dumb, because in many cases it's really not their fault, because the system is designed to create and produce that kind of mentality, a mentality that is vapid and empty of any real substance. Oh, they can tell you who the top football and basketball teams are, or what baseball team just picked up which big-name player, but as far as worthy and topics that are crucial to life and success, they don't know. But that, again, is the way it is now. It's been designed to create exactly what we have, as you well know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I guess it depends on how you want to look at an evolving collapse scenario or crisis scenario. But, look at not what we're being told, what's going on in the Middle East, North Africa, but, the spreading of freedom and air quote democracy and revolution. And, we're destabilizing the region, I believe, Jeff, for one reason. The refineries that are set up to process this oil, the easy, cheap oil, I by no means believe that the planet has a shortage of oil, but I believe we do have a shortage of easy, accessible oil that we can go get for almost nothing, considering we devastate governments. This energy that we're consuming in this country, around the world, this is not only what has given us 7 billion people on the planet, it is also a very, very deadly control mechanism to the planet. And, we talk about people who, you mentioned people that couldn't tell you the capital of 5 states, let alone where Washington, D.C. is, or that kind of thing. You talked earlier in the program about people are so used to being able to turn on a television to get their information, walk to the corner store to get their food or groceries or whatever the case may be. I mean, can you just imagine the worst case Mad Max scenario, the carnage that would come if power grids went down, or if we ended up in a situation in this country, which is very conceivable in my opinion, that goes the way of Egypt, where we're spending 50, 60, 70% of what we make just for basic necessity items, food and energy. And that's if energy is still free flowing and available. You cannot sustain 314 million people in any other manner than we have right now. You can't sustain them. So any crisis, even that's on a national scale, that might even seem kind of a pedestrian at this point, a crisis of oil going to $200 a barrel after 5 years of seeing household incomes fall and millions of people written off the employment rolls, is a disaster. That's a crisis.
You're right. It could go to 250 a barrel next week if they decide to invade or attack Iran. Real simple. Or perpetrate a false flag at the Strait of Hormuz. Very simple to do. The panic ensues. The prices go through the roof. People can't drive anymore to go to work. It becomes that simple. And if you think that we are energy self-sufficient here, we are. But we do not have the refining capacity in this country to take care of what we need to do to take care of Americans. The last real, sizable, honest refinery, do you know when the last refinery was built here in this country, Charlie, that really...
In the 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
1977.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So we are not... Look, there have been decisions made not to plan, not to prepare. Right. Not to anticipate.
Right. And I think it's by design, Jeff. I really do.
Well, of course it is.
After 2 years of doing your program, 4 years of doing YouTube and the research I've done, I think you'd have to be an absolute, complete denier of the truth to not see how 2008 collapse was completely engineered. It was completely dedicated to transferring fraudulent failure from private entities onto the backs of the people of the world, and that started the time ticking. That started the time bomb ticking, to where this fraudulent failure can be transferred to the world through sovereign debt. I mean, there's a reason why we're $1 trillion a year in spending, and it isn't because what Mitt Romney wants you to believe, which is we're running up too much social safety net debt. we're spending this much money because we're continually bailing out too big to fail institutions and pretending the economy is okay by spending this money, dumping it into the system.
That's right.
And it is such a weapon that can be turned to make a populace malleable almost overnight. We can't. You said it's our moral obligation. It is my moral obligation to make sure that I can take care of myself, because if I can't get up and I can't put the calories in my body that I need, then I can't take care of my son. So it's a moral imperative to take care of yourself if you care about your loved ones, and of course, your loved ones are your responsibility, and that goes through your immediate family, your extended family. Maybe you're in a big urban, built-up area, and you love your neighbors, and you want to make sure that when crisis hits, you can take care of them as well.
The nice thing that people sometimes do is go in together as a group, family groups. 4 or 5 families get together, they pool their money, and they buy a bunch of food and make sure that they're all supplied. And that's something that we can still do. Even if you're doing it with your extended family over a fairly wide distance, pool your money together, and buyemergencyfoods.com will ship your order wherever you'd like it. They can break it up into many different sizes and configurations, whatever. You can buy gluten-free entree buckets there. A lot of people are waking up to the gluten problem. That's an enormous problem. But back to the politics just for a minute. The phony left-right paradigm, which keeps people, it's just like a sports thing. My team's better than your team, right? Democrat, Republican, means nothing. Look what happened to Ron Paul. He's gone. It's like he was never here. 8 years of the Ron Paul revolution, and it's over. He's gone.
It's a footnote. It's a footnote. And his son, and I hope I don't tick anybody off here, but guys, he's not Ron Paul.
No, I don't trust that guy. There's something about him that's sleazy. It doesn't inspire me to do anything but want to walk the other direction.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, the Federal Reserve runs our government. This cabal of banks.
It is our government. You're right.
It is our government. The City of London. This is who governs our nation. They are, this is my opinion, they are going to collapse this thing to do what they said they're going to do. Consolidate power, create a global financial governance. And guys, global financial governance is global government. Simple. It doesn't get any simpler than that. This is what they've announced they're going to do. My hope for humanity, the United States of America, is that this inevitable collapse occurs, and there's enough good people out there like you, Jeff, and others in alternative media who have been screaming from the rooftops for a long time, look, this is coming. They brought us here. We must hold them accountable. And on the backside of a collapse, when it is forcing the people that can't tell you their state capital to wake up because they got to live it, they got to live the collapse, then my hope is we can return to listening to people like Ron Paul, to a constitutional republic, hold accountable and perp walk some of these criminals, and then truly start over again. Because the alternative is we go through the collapse and then we're all nothing but indentured servants for generations.
Well, for the foreseeable future, and then some.
That's right.
Exactly correct.
Until there's another generation that has the courage to stand up and throw off shackles. And right now, look where we're at.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there was 15 million people that watched Thursday Night Football because you know what? By gosh, they're giving me football on Thursdays now. And
it's a drug. It's a diversion drug. Nothing more, nothing less. Iran today announced that they were carrying out the sentence soon. They've sentenced the 4 people in the banking industry there to death for bank fraud. They don't mess around. That's probably the only kind of thing that would ever straighten out the system here if we could wrest control away from the City of London and take the Federal Reserve and reconfigure it into a servant of the American people.
Absolutely.
Chances of that happening are very slim. I've said for many years the controllers, unfortunately, will take the whole thing down rather than yield control. That's the dilemma we're up against. These people are that evil.
I agree 100%. Not only are they will they bring it down, I believe it's their plan to bring it down because out of chaos they will create their order. And guys, don't be fooled by them talking about gold back, this, that, and the other thing. It doesn't matter, if they talk.
No, you're
gold
right,
standard.
Charlie. 100% right. Thanks for mentioning that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They control it. They don't care what the backing is.
The game, set, and match is pretty well done. We have to stay informed. We have to be ready to take advantage of whatever opportunities may present. We tried with Ron Paul, and we can't give up, but keep in mind, as Charlie said, Ron Paul is now just a footnote, just that quickly, because the media dictates the consciousness and the memory profile of most people in this country. Ron who? Oh, that guy, I remember him. Charlie, thanks for being here. Buy emergencyfoods.com for legacy premium foods. Thanks so much, and keep up the wonderful work on the network and in service to the world. You're doing just a fantastic job.
You're very kind, Jeff. Thank you. And everybody, pay attention in November for the new line of products coming out at buyemergencyfoods.com.
We'll do it. All right. Good night, my friend.
Good night. Have a good night.
Okay. Charlie McGrath, and that's our program tonight. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back with you tomorrow night. Until then, take care and be well.